Thank you guys for taking time out of the middle of your day every week to join these. So, Kai Justine, that's what I know her by. It says Kai Roberts, but she's one of our UK members. And then Amy Lynn, she's new. She's one of my tried and true faithful OG live streamers as well. So, excited about that. Amy, since you're brand spanking new this week, why don't you give us a little introduction of like your name, where you're tuning in from, and then your, music history. We don't have to get the whole story of when you started singing when you were
No,
3,
no,
but
no,
like
no.
tell us about what kind of music you make.
Okay. So I'm Amy Lynn Slezak, and I'm tuning in from upstate New York. Um, College, opera, performing arts major, but I write like country pop, Gen X influenced. I'm older,
Mhm.
obviously. Um, and I just released my first single last summer. I finally got brave enough. And I kind of felt fate kick me in the rear. And I've been working remotely with a bunch of session players on air gigs. And I call them my dream team. I just have this great group of people that I've hit the jackpot with, and I love working with them. And I'm just released my third single 2 weeks ago today, yesterday, 2 weeks ago, yesterday. Thanks.
Congratulations.
And I'm trying to
In
figure out what to
a
do next.
year, that's
It's like,
yes. I'm so proud of you because
thank
listen,
you.
people are lucky if they release one single a year and you were like, okay, if age ain't nothing but a number, let me go ahead and do this now. So I'm really, really proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. And you said you make country pop Gen X influence. What is that?
Well, I hate that question. It's like, oh, like what do you sound like? Who do you sound like? And I'm like, I can't tell you who I sound like. It's all, listener perception. So
Hmm.
some of the reviews and the curator comments I've gotten back are like Reba McEntire meets Pat Benatar. Somebody just recently compared me to like Cheryl Crow and Natalie Maines in my ability to like story tell. Being older, like Cyndi Lauper, Pat Benatar, huge influences on me. So I love country, like 90s female country influences, but there's
Hmm.
always like that pop feel because I grew up with, 80s
Yeah. But even
sounds.
I mean 90s country was like pop. It was like Faith Evans and Shania Twain. And, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
like people wouldn't probably consider that
No,
country now, you know?
no.
So yeah, okay. Love it. Well, welcome. What are you looking to gain from joining our community?
I need direction. I need accountability. I obviously work a day job. It's really hard to balance family and work. And I'm really not great with my content creation. Um, yeah. So where do I go next? I want more listeners. I want I want people to hear my music. Like,
Right.
it would be nice to get money, but like honestly, I make music because I want people to hear it. It feels like I'm screaming into a void, and that's not why I make music. So
Yeah.
I want to reach people.
I hear you. I hear you, Chica. Well, welcome. You have you have found your people. You
Yay.
definitely found the right community. I do not know if you're familiar with Discord. That is kind
Yeah.
of where all of our chats and stuff are. Oh, dope. So please join the Discord and say what's up in our general chat because that's usually where I like do a lot of communication.
Right.
Like I'm trying to get better at like emailing people and like I try to have like our close friends on Instagram. Like I've experimented with like everything and it is kind of like a mix of them all. But Discord is where I'm super consistent. And then that's where we can just talk about like a lot of different things, you know?
Right.
So whether it's specific questions that you have, whether you just want to share like a win or something that happened, that it's like we need those because being an artist, it can feel really like isolating
Yeah.
and especially with the way that social media is that makes it seem like, oh, this is so easy. If you have a phone, you should be getting millions of streams. It's like,
No, no.
right, it's a lie. It's a lie, you know. If music marketing was that easy, then everybody would be able to find everyone's music. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
what job, like why would labels have had a career for so long, you know? So it's definitely a lie so that artists will try, they'll fail, they'll burn out, and then the bigger labels will have less competition. Because they're scared of independent artists, y'all. I just want to let you guys know that never in the history of music has being independent been like such a profitable, successful thing. And so the labels, the CEOs, not like people like me who are like your product manager or your SVP or something, but the higher ups, they're scared. They're like, oh, well, I'm not gonna get my $1 million bonus. What am I gonna do? Girl, cry me a river, okay? We do not care. But I'm proud of all of you guys. I'm proud of you guys for being here. And today I want us to talk about how to pitch yourself. I know that some of you guys might not be there yet. Like you're not even probably thinking about playlist pitching or anything like that. But when the time comes, I want you guys to be able to do it with confidence. And pitching yourself is not always just pitching yourself for playlisting or pitching yourself for, you know, press and things like that. Sometimes you're trying to pitch yourself for a collab with a producer or another artist. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're trying to pitch yourself to a manager to get like some help because you actually have a bunch of like things that you cannot manage on top of also being an artist, right? So the importance of knowing how to collab with other people in this community is huge because in music your network really is your net worth. Like I haven't managed an artist in a year, but if I decided right now today to get in my bag. Okay, I fell in love with an artist, like they're the truth. I love it. They have all of these things going on. I have such a great network that I know the head of R&B at, you know, Apple Music. I know head of pop. Like these people are people that I've worked with in the past and I've had connections with before. And a lot of times you got to keep up with them, right? These people change companies and everything. So you have to know how to network, how to pitch yourself. Because if everybody is just going to be their own label, then let me just teach you how to do it the right way. Because y'all are burning out. Y'all are, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's a game. It's a game that they're trying to play so that you guys will burn out, you'll lose confidence, you'll feel like it's not working, and you'll quit. And they'll have less competition. Like they'll have less people trying to get their market share and everything out here. Um, but all right, you guys, I'm gonna get into that. You guys in the chat, if you guys can just introduce yourself to Amy, say where you're from, what kind of music you make. And if you want to share like your socials or something like that, you can do that in the chat. But most artists, like I've said, they're really waiting for the big break. So whether that's a huge playlist, a big viral moment, a cosign from a big artist, they're waiting for something that is going to just like help switch it up for them. But the truth is you don't need one big win. You need 10 little wins to even get to that point, right? So you can't go from I've never released music to a Kaylani cosign. Because I mean, Kaylani cosigns can cross you over. She keeps cosigning artists and putting them on. And if you guys have not noticed that, she is one of the few artists who unabashedly will put other artists on and it actually works. Destin Conrad, and in association, Sasha Keeble, K1, and now Isaiah Haran, bro. Like to to see the difference that a Kehlani cosign has made for him in 1 year alone, absolutely insane. Ombre, we can't forget Ombre. I just feel like the Kehlani cosign didn't work for Ombre as well as it should have, but Ombre, with or without Kehlani, Ombre has been like a songwriter, a very successful songwriter, and in like behind the scenes of the music industry. But I feel like, with Kehlani, that did kind of bring her to the forefront. So, um, cosigns and everything are great, but you have to think about what were they doing as an artist to even get on Kehlani's radar? What can you do as an artist to even get on, playlists, blogs, um, managers, those kind of people who can support you? How can you even get on their radar to begin with? And so that is from stacking a bunch of smaller wins, right? It's a compound effect of doing the little things until they add up. So I've seen artists doubling their audience from these kinds of things. And I want to know what's one small win that you would love to land in the next 30 days. Is that like a blog placement? Are you looking for playlisting? Would you want to collab with the producer? Of course, these wins depend on where you're at in your release cycle. If you didn't release a song, then we're not even thinking about that. If you just released like your second song ever in life, okay, we're not thinking about playlisting. You know what I'm saying? If you have a huge audience and you don't know how to pitch yourself, that's different, right? If you have been playlisted in the past but you don't know who to thank for past playlisting and stuff, that's also different. So let me know, based on where you're at in your music journey, what is one small win that you would love to land in the next 30 days? Reem said a playlist. Reem, did you just release music? Do you have a new song that would be lucrative to like playlisters and stuff for your pitching? Because usually playlist pitching happens before the song even comes out. It's not typically something that happens after the song comes out, but it can be, you know. It's just not as lucrative because they're always, playlist curators and stuff want to be on first and they want to put other people on because of their playlists. Um, 1,000 followers on TikTok. Kai, okay. I love that. Where are you at with your followers now and what are you doing to get to that goal? Brittany, is that my girl Brittany Day actually able to join the live? She's talking. Oh, y'all, this is crazy. Girl, hello. So Brittany Day, Brittany, I actually showed your target audience profiles. I used those as examples last week, from your mood board that we made together. But yes, I'm so excited that you're here as well. So sync is that's a great goal because honestly, sync can happen at any time. You know who I really wish was here was Destiny, because she has gotten a sync placement on Netflix for Love is Blind. If you guys are not following Destiny already, on Instagram, please do, because that's where you're gonna get like the personal information like that. Like TikTok is probably gonna be more of her short form, like, promotional content, but Instagram is gonna be the storytelling. Like she has the pinned post of when she saw her song on Love is Blind for the first time. So it's like great moments like that. But she also does a really great job pitching herself to local press. Like that's where we should be starting is like our local community first. Because if they don't know you from where you from, don't expect nobody to, don't expect to get the attention of other people from other places, right? Like you've got to be a big thing in your community before you become big everywhere else. So definitely want to focus on local press and everything if you are an up and coming emerging artist, right? If you are streaming in the 100,000s or whatever, then okay, now let's get bigger press opportunities because we have a bigger map of people. Kai. So Kai is at 524 followers, about 75 followers since my release campaign a month ago. Nice. Kai, do you go live? How
Yeah.
often do you go live?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I was going live like every maybe 2 times a week. I started going live at the beginning of like my release campaign, and then I was sick for a good couple of weeks. So I
Mm-hmm.
haven't gone live since. But I
Mm-hmm.
have noticed that lives are they're super important to growth that I've noticed. Like
Yeah.
people really engage. You have to be on there a little while, so it doesn't happen. I find like I'm there for like a I'm watching your live,
You
but
know
like
I know.
I mean like half an hour before I then start seeing people like coming in.
Yeah.
And it changes depending on what I want to do with the live. If I'm doing some singing or I'm making music, then yeah, people tend to be interested. So yeah, I think that's like super important. But I've done, yeah, I mean I've grown. I'm happy that I've
Mm-hmm.
grown. I could just always do more. But I'm finding that I'm finding more of a voice in terms of how I want to promote my stuff. So yeah, it's a journey, right?
No, it really is, you guys. Being an artist really is a journey, and there is no actual end destination where you're like, okay, this is great, like everything is fine, right? Because even artists who are at the top of their game, as we're seeing with Drake, you're not gonna be at the top forever. Like, so it's there's always going to be different challenges and hurdles of, oh, or even with Tyla, is my follow-up project gonna do as well as my first album? Is that, so it's like it in the music industry, being an artist really is a journey. And what helps you, what benefits you, depends on where you're at in your journey and what your immediate goals are. So, you guys sharing these small wins, I really love to see it because you guys are not asking for like a Billboard #1. You're not like, oh, I want to do a festival. Like, it's like, no, these are like real goals for where you are at. So they're very great, manageable goals. Oh, honey. Okay, we see. She said, if I'm planning a release for October, maybe a good 30-day goal for me is landing a playlist placement. Yeah, definitely. Definitely can be a goal. So let's get into our pitching lab. I want us to get practical. I'm good for a good worksheet, y'all. Amy's new here. She don't know yet. She gonna find out. I am good for a good worksheet. So worksheets just like help me break down the different steps of how to do things, and then it makes it easy for me to show you. But I'm also going to show you guys some of my pitch emails that I've done for artists in the past that actually landed playlisting and things like that. I'm not gonna lie. For a majority of the artists that I have managed, I get PR people and stuff to do that. But even getting PR people, you have to know how to pitch an artist for PR. You have to know how to like get people interested, right? And so a lot of times a lot of people work for me because of my relationships and who I am, so it doesn't count for nothing. I'm not saying that this is like the magic wand that's going to cure everything, but I want to teach you guys how to pitch. I want to teach you guys how to do it with confidence. And then I even want to show you guys an email that I got on Friday from like an artist, and it was a good pitch. I was like, this is cute. I might actually want to like, it made me want to listen to her stuff. I'm like, thank you for reaching out. This was actually really cute. Okay, let me make this full screen and then I'll share my screen. I'll just do the full desktop. All right, y'all. So this is it. I want us to talk about how to get them to even open up the message and even want to read it, how to explain yourself or your value in a few sentences, how to, close with confidence without sounding pushy. What's up, Soulful? You not late, you right on time. And listen, it's not like I don't record these. But y'all haven't been watching them. So last week I didn't even post the replay. I said, if nobody's watching it, why am I reposting it? Um, but I did send the Zoom link to Reem because he said he wanted it. But I will post it. That's not just for y'all, that's for me too. Like I gotta have a log of all of this and everything. So but anyways, getting into the collab pitch worksheet. I watched them. Okay, Kat. I'm gonna put it on just for you. I need the replay. Okay. Okay, listen. Popular demand is three people asking me for it. Y'all got it. I'm gonna put the replays on there. I'm so happy that we have these meetings once a week because, like, again, I never know when I'm gonna catch you. So it's so important. Okay, let's get into this. So, step one, get a list together of like am I who am I pitching? Am I pitching to nowadays it's not as much blogs as like influencer pages. So when I say influencer pages, I do not mean like a person. I mean like the R&B grid. Listen, I'm going on my phone to look at the pages cuz they're like all I follow. So R&B music, R&B only, R&B lounge, like all of these are people who are, they're influencer pages that are specifically about R&B. And they don't just exist for R&B. Like I said, I have managed predominantly R&B artists, so that's all I'm locked in with. But these types of pages, they exist for pop music, they exist for rap music, they exist for rock music. You just have to find them. Is the worksheet going to be posted somewhere? Yes, yes, I will definitely share this worksheet with you guys. So I'm gonna get on my Zoom. I will put it in the Insiders Hub, which is the actual website that you guys are members of, so you can log in and go get it from there. So I'll post last week's replay, which didn't have a worksheet or anything, and then I'll post this week's replay with the worksheet that goes with it. So Amy, that's usually what I do. Every week I post the replay and then I'll post any corresponding worksheets or anything that are associated with it, all like in the course section, which is your Insiders Hub on the members site. And it'll also be in Discord too. Like I usually send like, links and stuff in Discord. So that's number one, figuring out like who am I even reaching out to? And am I reaching out to them like via DM or am I trying to find their email? So Instagram is going to probably be the best place to pitch. I feel like TikTok, these pages aren't as successful. Like they're not posting like TikTok is still like influencer heavy. Like it's people who are promoting music artists and stuff as opposed to like these blog style pages, right? And these blog style pages, a lot of them, they'll allow you to do it even for, some of them they'll do it for free if they enjoy the music. Some of them they will, have a fee or something like that. So getting a list together of who am I pitching to and where are their emails. If you are trying to do some playlisting, you're going to be looking for music programmers in LinkedIn. That's the job that you're looking for. Music programmer. So the music programmer at Pandora for the genre that you work in, that's very important too, right? You're not going to be pitching for the R&B and Afro beats curator if you make pop music or heavy metal, right? So it's like looking at who curates everything. If they're hard to find, that's intentional. They don't want you to find them, right? Like they don't want a bunch of artists spamming them. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? But being on LinkedIn is not where a lot of artists think to go, right? And that's like that's a professional, like they have to have a professional page, like their job requires them to have like a LinkedIn profile stuff. So that's a great place to find actual playlist curators and people who work at DSPs for you to pitch your music to. You might not get an email from there, but at least knowing what their name is, you can look them up on socials, you can follow them on socials, and you can build an organic relationship that is not just, you asking them for a favor, right? So that when it is time for you to pitch yourself, they're going to actually answer the email because it's like, oh my gosh, this is Langley. I see Langley always reposts all of my tweets. Langley is always commenting on all my new stuff. Langley always has me on her story. Yeah, let me open this email from Langley, like as opposed to like some random person who's flooding their inbox. Um, Next, you want to grab their attention in the first 1 to 2 sentences. So, this pitch, this was me pitching my client at the time to Vivo. And so in the first sentences, I'm like, hey, Tony, I'm not going to give y'all his email. Because I'm not trying to give out people's emails. But it's like, hey Tony, happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm reaching out at the top of the week. Like we're hitting the ground running. I'm not reaching out to you on a Friday when you want to go home and when you don't want to look at emails anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm saying what's up, saying who I am reaching out on behalf of. At the time, I was representing Zaya Bell. And this is a hyperlink to her website in case you don't know who she is. You're about to find out. We are currently gearing up for the release of her forthcoming album, Yam Greer. We are fans of Vivo and would love to explore opportunities within the brand. I worked with the Vivo brand personally on Doja Cat Lift sessions, and it was such a great overall experience from conception to execution. Would really love to work with you all again. Right? So it's like, if you don't know who I am, but you're looking at this opening thing and I'm telling you, like, I worked with you guys for Doja Cat Lift, like, that is a Vivo thing that Vivo were doing for artists, right? And so it's like, I'm grabbing your attention by letting you know, like, I'm not some random blogger off the internet who has no experience working in music, you know? Um, and then I'm like, before I jump ahead of myself, let me tell you about my girl, right? And so then I get into talking about the artist and just giving just like a snapshot, right? Like if you really want to see like her full press stuff, I have a one sheet attached here. Like you can look at that. But just like in a glance, let me tell you who she is, where she's from, what kind of music that she makes, what her last release was. It got the attention of Kid Cudi and Kehlani, as well as, it got press. Like this was, again, we were signed to an independent label who didn't do anything but write a check. So this was organic press, organic pickups. Like these were people who were just like, oh, I love this. Um, Talking about when the project is going to come out, the title. Like if you are familiar with Pam Grier, she's an icon in the Black community from a lot of her like Foxy Brown and like those throwback pictures and everything. And so the music, it sounded like a Marvin Gaye album. It sounded like, it sounded like that. And so that's why the title was there. And then talking about her going on tour with Alex Isley in August. That was something we had locked in since like April. So it's like we got ducks in a row. What we didn't know is that we were going to go on another tour with India Shawn in October because that opportunity hadn't come about yet. But letting you guys know and then saying like, okay, we want to partner with Vivo. We would love to be discovered for X, Y, and Z. Like these are the different things that Vivo does, right? And so again, it depends on who you're pitching to. But if you're pitching to Pandora and you want playlists, tell them where your playlist should live on their platform. If you're pitching to Spotify, don't just I want to be the best of R&B playlists. I want to be the cover of the baby. Don't we all, right? Like, give them like lists of like, these are your brand specific things that we would love to be a part of. Now, I will get to the press sheet in a second. I'll even show you guys some examples. So, Robin, I see your question, Pooks, but I want to stay focused. Look who took her lion's mane today. Me. Me. Look at the ADHD not taking over. I'm excited about it. Okay, so that was step two, just like your opening hook, your opening line. And I have some examples, you know, big fan of your playlist, big fan of your platform, whatever. Like, majority of this email, as you guys can see, is not me talking about the artist as much as talking about the brand and the opportunities that we want to partner for, right? Um, they don't know you, and this email, this pitch email is not going, they don't have enough time to get to know you, right? So it's like, just give them the highlights where it's like, if you needed a reason to work with me, these are the top reasons. um Step three, that goes into step three, which is why you and why now. Talking about the audience that you have, the vibe that you have, if you've done any live shows, you know, the feedback that you've gotten on performances, or just from people in your community. um Again, upcoming releases, local shows, cultural moments. So going back to this pitch email, I talked about her previous, you know, project last year, and the attention that it got. I talked about what was going to be coming up, and then I talked about her tour that she had, so opportunities that she had as well. Can we see the red sheet you'll create for Zaya Bell? Is it the EBK? That's the same thing as the press sheet. So don't worry. I'll show you that one. I have a better one that I made for Ayana as well. So I'll show you guys examples of one sheets and everything like that, that you would attach as well. But we're focused on the email. Y'all, if they don't read the fucking email, they're not going to get to the press sheet, okay? Like, the email is very important. Do not skip this part, okay? Y'all are like, "Oh, can I see the press sheet? Let me see." Yes, 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 yes. The answer is yes. But if they don't answer this goddamn email, they're not looking at the press sheet, okay? So let's focus on this. And then step four, clear and simple ask, okay? Do not have a fucking resume. I want to be on this playlist, and I've been a fan of Spotify all my life, and I've this little baby, baby. Everybody got the attention span of goldfish. We're lucky they're reading your fucking email. Make it quick. Make it quick, make it clear, and be concise. Okay. I'd love to be considered for a feature on your page. Would you be open if you're reaching out to another artist or a producer or an engineer? Would you be open to collabing on a duet, on a remix? This is some of the current work that I have. This is some of my unreleased music. I would let you know, you make the kind of beats that sounds like the vibe that I'm trying to create, all of that. Can I send you the track for playlist consideration? All I don't even ask. Honestly, I feel like I send it and then I like ask later. And then the close. So how you close it, keep it light, keep it friendly. Don't, "You would change my life if you just da, da, da." It's like, okay, thank you. Now I feel awkward. Now I feel like I have to pay you because if not, I'm killing your dog. Like, damn. Like, no play. But you know, keep it light. It's like, no worries if now's not the right time. Just thought I'd reach out because, baby, I'm going to also show you guys something from Apple where they did not respond to me. Also, the pitch email was kind of horrible. I was a little embarrassed when I found it. I was like, this is gross." But it was from like 2022. I was, you know, I just went independent. And again, I was not used to having to pitch artists myself because I came from corporate music where they were doing the pitches. So, hello everyone, hope you're well, blah, 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 blah. Y'all, I had the wrong emails. But then Apple responded. Apple responded anyways. You know, they were like, thank you, Jasmine. She's being supported across a few playlists right now. We'll keep an eye on her, yada, yada. Walter also responded. So they both responded. So then I reached back out to them again as we get closer to the release to kind of be like, oh, yeah, we're premiering the music video, blah, blah, blah. They're saying, like, you know, loving what I'm hearing. She's getting nice playlist love. We'll feature the track with Ebro either in December or top of. I said, what? 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 You guys, honestly, this is making me miss management because it's these wins where it's like, look at how cringy. It's cringy to me because I'm like so like CEO buttoned up professional and stuff, but like, imagine if I just didn't even reach out. Okay? So it doesn't matter how ugly you show up, right? Just show up and show up with confidence. Like I I had never done this because I was used to working on big management teams where I didn't have to do this, right? Doja Cat, like the label's pitching her for playlisting. Like, you know, like all of this. So it was scary and it was cringy and it's scary until you know you but those were just kind of examples of like just show up. It doesn't matter how you show up, just show up. But okay, so the what you guys have all been waiting for. Let's look at these one sheets. So I made both of these one sheets on Canva. I made these myself. So I was such a good manager, you guys. Like, ooh, do I be a manager again? Low key. Like anyway.
Yes.
Do you see how I'm like lighting up talking about management? It's kind of it's I just
You'll
love
be back. You'll be back.
I will. I will. I will. So yes, so this is her one sheet. It is talking about where she is from. It is talking about her experience in music. At this point, she had been doing music for like 10 years. Um, it's also talking about some of the features that she has gotten. So, you know, everybody's one sheet is going to look different depending on where you're at in your career. And if you're a baby artist where you don't have anything like this to even talk about yet, then it's just gonna more so be like a bio and more so talking about maybe like your current socials or anything like that or talking about the audience that you want, all of that great stuff. So we had links to all of where you could, you know, stream her, showing off where she had been playlisted, all of that great stuff. Here we go. Another one. This was made on Canva as well. So biography, highlights, press, you know, she only had like a couple press write-ups, so that's what we linked. My information, please don't call me. I didn't even realize my number was on there. Please don't call me, y'all. Don't hit me up. Don't hit me up. Um, but yeah, so these again, I made these on Canva. I made them on Canva. You know, it's not. I'm calling. No, blocked. Don't play. um. So yes, that is what you put on your one sheets. Now, what you should put on your one sheet depends on you, right? It is not like a one size fits all. Not me, about to shoot you a text. Stop. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Do we have any questions from the pitch lab from the worksheet? Any questions? Unmute yourself. Oh, we got Soulful. You raised your hand first, so I'll go with you. Soulful, go ahead and unmute. You could ask, and then we'll get to Rocky after.
Okay, hey, what's up? I stuck into the chat too, but really quick, what if your, I guess, most recent work is kind of older? Do you still put that on the sheet? Doesn't matter as far as the time frame. I know you want something recent, something that may be buzzing, but what if some of your material is maybe a year or two old or more?
totally fine because baby, your biggest hits are your biggest hits. My plaque is from 2019. I'm gonna talk about that shit till the day I fucking die because it doesn't take away from my success. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't matter when the win happened. Put your wins on there. Okay, Rocky.
Okay. My question is for the one sheet. My question is for the one sheet. For more independent artists, what would you include? You kind of briefly glazed over it. So socials, like if
Yes.
you don't have the stats yet, but like let's say you performed at different festivals or what would you include on there?
Exactly. So your highlights are going to be just that, your highlights. So if you have, done festival performances, if you have been featured even in local press write-ups or
Okay.
on, some playlists or any kinds of pages or anything like that. Um, but this is going to be more about your biography, talking about, your debut EP. So, first sentence, who you are, where you're from, and where you're located now. Those are all super important things because where you're located now matters for brand partnerships. Like a lot of things depend on like location. Like they're not going to fly you out, but if you're Atlanta based, we can do it, right?
Right.
Knowing where you're from, that helps people know like your inspirations or anything because a lot of us have different inspirations depending on where we're from. Then in the next paragraph, you can just kind of go back to your music history. So highlights about the music that you have released, if you did any collaborations with notable artists, if you've ever written for other artists, right? Soulful, he's a producer. So his one sheet would be talking about his placements that he's gotten. It would be talking about his inspirations and the kind of music that he makes. It would be talking about his musicality and his musical ability. So yeah, it's your biography is, is just that. Your highlights, performances are great highlights, press collaborations, like, it just all depends on where you're at. If you are a emerging artist and everything, they understand that, they don't expect it, right? Some of the highlights that I have on here are talking about like her lifetime number in streams as opposed to just saying like this one song's,
One song.
a million
Okay.
streams. um Now we can talk about that, but at that time she didn't have that. Saying, oh, she has 4 million plus views across social media, right? I'm just talking about the views. I'm not talking about likes.
Right.
I'm not talking about anything because it's like, okay, what are the biggest metrics,
Yeah.
Um,
So we
you
could use that for TikTok. Like if I was like I have over 100K likes on TikTok or something like that. Like that's good. Okay.
Exactly. That would be like a highlight. Talking about like on here, I say that she has, 1.2 million unique Spotify listeners. Like all of this was like different random stats that just make her look like, yeah, we got it, right? But it's like
Yeah.
she was still a baby artist, like still up and coming. So yeah, it's just about where you're at. It's not about having like the biggest accomplishments ever. It's about your biggest accomplishments ever.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, y'all. Any questions about the DM or the email? That's actually, I need y'all to do a draft because y'all are so focused on the one sheet and not the email. And the email is the most important part, y'all. Don't skip the email. Soulful, go ahead. What'd you say?
Okay, I'm that kid in class that everybody hates with the questions at the last minute, but are you using a CRM or are you just manually typing all this up? I know you have your templates, but are you like one by oneing or are you like putting it in like a program that does it for you?
A CRM software building my one sheet?
No, 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 for your emails. So like, are you just finding someone, sending one email with the template, or are you saying, hey, here's my list, I'm just going to shoot y'all all the same email?
Oh, hell no. You need to personalize every email. Personalize it because if it is a random copy and paste email, they can tell. Also, that's how you get fucked up and say like I love Spotify playlists and you're sending it to title, right? Like fuck. Like
Right.
so
Yep. Okay.
yeah, so make it specific for whoever you are pitching out to, the specific opportunities that they have, and including specific highlights that are relevant, right? If you are pitching to a performance outlet, you're going to want to highlight your performance history. So when I say performance outlet, I'm talking about on the radar, major stage, like, you know, those kinds of things. Those are also people that y'all should be pitching yourselves to as well, right? Not just the influencer page, but like performance pages, like all of that. Now, if you are pitching to a brand, then you're going to talk about the audience that you have, because you have the same type of audience that aligns with whatever product or whatever. So you would be a good representation of their brand. If you are pitching yourself to a playlister, then we're talking about the playlist. You're talking about where people can listen to your music so that they can think about where to put your playlist too. It's like, oh yeah, this would be good for a workout playlist. Oh, this would be good for a, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, different strokes for different folks. Do not do one template, send it to everyone. Um, if you can find an email. You know, emails and DMs exist for a reason. So we're going to try our best to reach out to them. But great question. Okay, Rocky.
Another question. Okay, so kind of a two-parter. What you were saying about the email, I know email is king, email is king. If you know someone, a playlister or a music programmer at a DSP, you suggest that we still use the pitch. Like even if I met the head of Title's R&B person
Mm-hmm.
at a conference, but like we've spoken, we've had like a few calls and we've talked, but like I should still send him like a pitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And you can you know what I'm saying? Like you can send it to the email thread that you've already had exchanges on, you know, just so that,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have a personal connection to them and it might
Right.
go spam, but at least if you're responding to an established thread,
Right.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then they might ask you like, "Hey, could you actually send this to me in a separate email or something?" And it's like, "Oh
Right.
yeah, totally." Right? So
Okay.
yeah, if you have already connected to them, send them a, you know, send them a pitch. But I would do it in like the established line of communication that you have, because that's what email threads are for. Okay?
Right. Right.
Like
And
they're there to remind us.
yeah. And then my other question was about branding, like reaching out to brands and seeing different stuff like that. Like you mentioned major stage and on the radar.
Hmm.
What I don't know, like even with my things that I've thought about like with marketing, because I am a baby artist, I'm like, okay, do I need to curate and like kind of create like I don't know, like align myself with the brand, like let's say topicals. We'll just throw
Hmm.
one out there. Topicals. Like I'm not gonna get I might not necessarily get a brand partnership with topicals, but I can buy some topicals and take a picture and try to put myself in the I don't know, like tag them and DM them a good photo shoot that I had. Like what I don't know. Like what are your thoughts on that?
So when it comes to actual brands such as topicals, Reebok, Nike, like the, you know, any kinds of brands, then those partnerships are more so about brand alignment. And so it would be, you know, it would be you organically using their things and then pitching yourself if a video goes viral or if something like that happens. You know, I've had brands reach out to me on my personal pages because I just like, you know, after doing all of this content for my music page, I've just gotten good at making content. So I've made like videos of me like straightening my hair and stuff, and Con Air has been like, "Oh my gosh, look!" And I'm like, "Bitch, what? Send me a free blow dryer. You know what's up?" Like, but that's how it happens, is you organically using their things, tagging their brands and stuff like that. I've had Function of Beauty reach out too because I use their stuff, right? So that is how you build that. But there's also things like micro influencer programs and stuff like that as well. So I would not think about brand collaborations until you have really like locked in your brand as an artist, because then knowing which brands to collaborate or who you want to reach out to will become more clear based on the audience that you have and what you're doing right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then going over to the comments, so I see Honey Gold Jasmine said she is looking for feedback on an email draft. That would be amazing. If you are able to screen share and if you want to do that email draft on here, we can do it. If you want to do that separately, we could do that as well. Robin said, yeah, personal experience with the copy and paste emails. I've emailed the wrong names and it was not cute. Okay? Listen. I feel like I have done that as well, but anytime that I'm not perfect has just been erased from my memory, so I can't confirm 100%. But yes, definitely. Yeah, I feel like I've done that shit as well. And I'm like, oh, such an idiot. Amy said, when I have to email lots of people on the same issue, I make a basic composition in Word doc and then copy, paste, and edit to personalize each one. Yes, exactly. So my hope is that you guys do this worksheet and it helps you with like that basis kind of like that hook, the why, explaining yourself, the ask, and then how you're going to close. And then you can personalize it for everyone that you have. I don't have it ready at the moment, but I can share in Discord or email. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. All right. So, if someone were to put together a pitch based on what we did now, do you guys want to do that? Do you guys want to work on? Oh, well, actually, what am I talking about? It's 1 o'clock already. Never mind. We don't. I'm over here like, do you guys want to do a live pitch workshop? Listen, I would be here all day, but I actually have other things that I have to do. I lost track of time, so sorry about that. Real quick though, before I let you guys go, outside of just brands and playlists, please work with other artists. There's other artists that also it's mutually beneficial for them to collaborate with you and for you guys to share your audiences. And that goes for producers as well as engineers. A lot of producers and engineers, they even if they work with bigger artists, they're not getting paid until until the artist recoups, and then they're actually able to start generating profit from royalties. That's like the crazy music business part. So a lot of them would love to work with an independent artist because again, it's mutually beneficial. They don't have to go through all of the red tape with labels and waiting, for them to recoup to actually make money. Like you guys can do a 50-50 split on the song or whatever. You guys can do collab like live streams, all of that kind of stuff. Influencer collabs. So letting people use your track in their content. It's a way to get visibility, but it doesn't really guarantee discovery. It doesn't guarantee that people are going to actually like go do your things. So yeah, collabs is how I got into the game. See, listen. And for those of you who don't know, like Soulful is signed to Warner. He's a producer signed to Warner right now. So it's like I'm over here talking about collab with producers. He's a producer. Don't play. Um, look at me. I'm putting my phone number on the internet. I'm over here pitching you. And then for playlists, offer an early exclusive, right? Offer them an early exclusive. So have the links and things ready. Like, as you can see in my email, when Walter Tucker was like, hey, is the EP still coming out? It's like, girl, why would you not hit this man? Like, I'm so embarrassed. Me and Walter are actually cool now, but I'm just like, oh, cringe. But have the links ready. Reach out ahead of time, right? So that if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And if someone emails you, you're able to respond while you're fresh in their mind, right? Like you don't want days to go by. You finally learned how to do a WeTransfer link or a password protected link or an untitled app link, and now they're not even responding because they don't have time. Like, fuck, we don't want that to happen. But okay, you guys, your challenge for this week is to send me your pitch email or message, right? I want to see what your pitch message is. And if you have a one sheet already, go ahead and drop that my way as well. I want to see your guys' one sheets. So a draft of your pitch email and your one sheet. An attempt at a one sheet if you've never made one before. Listen, Canva's free. I pay for it, but it's free. So that is what I want. I would love if you guys can drop that into the tips and challenges chat. And we are kicking off our visibility challenge for the last 2 weeks of August. So starting on Monday, if you're not in the Discord, run in there, please, because every day in tips and challenges, I will be posting a prompt for this visibility challenge. So y'all got to come back every day to see what your prompt is. And then if you are able to show up all 10 days in a row, I'm going to give like the top 5 people that were able to be the most consistent, just free 15-minute one-on-one calls with me. Because I love connecting, on here and everything, but there's only so much I can do when I'm teaching the whole class as opposed to when we have a one-on-one session. You know what I'm saying? And I know all of my OGs were able to have that one-on-one time with me, but not all of the new insiders, right? So yep, that's what we're doing. That's our visibility challenge for the month. I like winning. Okay, Soulful. Listen, if a challenge is how we get you guys to be more visible, then I am all with it. I love it. But yes, so homework. I want you guys to send me a draft of your pitch message, and as well as your one sheet. You can say like, this is my one sheet, bitch, don't touch it. Or you could say, Jazz, can you give me some feedback? Let me know, right? I don't want to tear your one sheet to shreds if you worked 40 hours on it and it's the best thing you've ever made in your life. I'm just gonna let you have that. But yes, the so Rocky said, will the challenges be posted at the same time every day? I will do that. I will try to post them at the same time every day. I will just make that like the first thing I do before I start working. So my son goes to work, or my son goes to work. My son goes to school at like 8, and I start like, getting ready and everything. And then I usually sit down to do emails at 9 a.m. PT. So that will be the time that I'm going to put the prompt in Discord, will be 9 a.m. PT, which will be 12 p.m. ET. My UK people, what is 9 hours ahead? 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Okay, UK time. And then yeah, that's it. Oh, also Kai, I know you were looking for other UK people to connect to. Marcella is located in the UK, and so is Ella. Not both of y'all have an Ella in your names, but those are some of my UK insiders. So please link up, y'all, okay? Because content day is a lot easier when you got somebody who wants to shoot content too and knows how to get your angles, okay? Y'all are in it together, all right? So please link up. All right, you guys, that's everything that I have time for today. Let me jump off here so I can get my shit together, post the replays since y'all actually asked for them, and keep the Discord popping. I want to see your guys's one sheets and pitch messages. The pitch message, get that to me by Friday. The one sheets, I'll give you till Monday. Okay, I'll give you more time to do that. The email template will be in ICI today. Yes, it is. It's a Google Doc. I can share that right now. Okay, so I'm gonna drop that in there. All right. Thank you guys all so much for joining me. I'll see you next week. Excited for the visibility challenge. Until then, bye.